All right, welcome everybody. Let me know. Hold on. Get my camera going. Something's going on with my camera, but hopefully you can see me and hear me at least. Let me try to fix this. There we go. Boom, we're good, we're good, we're good. Welcome everybody to the Financial Church. So excited to have you here on this Sunday. My name is Julian Gordon, and yeah, I got a special message for you. I think it's gonna be a fun one. So make sure you get some notes, some paper, because we're about to go in and discuss how creation and thoughts work, how thoughts turn to things in our life, how our heaven, which is our mind, actually externalizes as our earthly material experience. So I want to welcome everybody who is just joining us. If you're joining us on Instagram, please find us at www.juliangordon.com/TFC. TFC for the Financial Church. You're gonna want to see the slides today, and I teach on Zoom through Zoom. And once you register, you'll be signed up for our weekly calls, our weekly preachings, as we call them. They are a combination of preaching and teaching. So that's a word that we made up to describe what we do here. We don't just want you to leave on a spiritual high and then that thing evaporates within 30 minutes of you leaving this space. We want to give you the tools and the teaching that you need to be able to sustain this throughout your week. All right. So welcome everybody. Just so excited to have you. I was sitting this week with this teaching or this preaching, and I'm really excited about it. It's been something that's been on my heart for quite some time. And typically, you know, we always say as above, so below, as above, so below. And what we tend to do as human beings is we tend to create like our creator. We tend to create like our creator. And so some of the manifestations that we see, like the internet, are direct manifestations. So of that, and I'm going to explain what I mean in just a second. So I just want to welcome everybody. If you are new, please type new in chat. Please type new in chat, whether you're on Instagram or in Zoom. Please type new in chat if you are new. And if you are a vet, type vet. If you are a vet, type vet. All right, let me know. Because that lets me know how quickly I can go through our introduction. Some of you know what this space is really all about, but if you're new, I don't want to leave anybody behind. We got a lot of vets here on Instagram, exciting. That means that something is going right, that this teaching is having impact because this is a totally optional space. You don't have to be here. So this ministry must be blessing you in some way. So I'm so excited to see that. And then I see some new people. Simone, we see you when we recognize you. Thank you for being here. Then I see Treasure and on Instagram. But I see a lot of vets here, which is a beautiful thing. King DiGolo, welcome. Tiffany, welcome. Brown-eyed one, welcome, welcome, welcome. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. So if you are on Instagram, you're going to want to come over to juliangordon.com/TFC. Oh no, /. I always say backslash. It's /. juliangordon.com/TFC. I pinned that post in the chat. And what we're going to do is we're going to get started. So everybody who is on Zoom, can you see my slides? Can you see my slides? If you're on Zoom, can you see them? Cool. Good, good, good. All right. So today's divine download that I've been processing this week is called Instagram and Instagod. Instagram and Instagod. That is the topic that I'm going to be teaching from today, how your thoughts become your experience. As I said earlier, what we tend to do as human beings as little creators, of course, there is the big C creator, the big G, the original G, God, and then there's us, little creators or little gods, and we try to be like our mother, father, right? When we resemble them, we have all the characteristics that they have. And so things like the internet, for example, are literally our attempt to try to tap into what is above, right? As above, so below. So the internet is an attempt to replicate what consciousness looks like. You ever seen, like, I'm trying to think of my daughter and something that she's trying to do like me? Well, when she was learning how to brush her teeth, right? She brushes her teeth in the same way that I do. She counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we try to be like our parents. And here we believe that our spiritual parents, our mother, father, God, are our creators, and we're children of God. We are children of God, and we are direct offsprings of that thing, however we choose to define it. Okay, so that's what we're going to speak on from today. It's Instagram and Instagod, how your thoughts become your experience. And I'm going to show you today how the experience that you have on social media platforms, especially like Instagram and Facebook, are almost exactly how the universe, how God actually works. All right. And so once we see this and I make this really tangible for you, you're going to be able to see it right away. It's going to change the way you monitor your thinking, right? We call ourselves gardeners. In one of our past teachings, we called ourselves guard, as in guarding inners. We're guarding our inner, right? We're guarding our thought life. Okay. Now, thoughts are passing by us at all times right now. There are radio waves literally passing by you right now, except we're not tuned into that frequency because you might not be in your car and have that antenna tapped in, but there are thoughts always passing, and we can grab those thoughts based on the feeling and the vibration and the level of frequency that we're at. Okay. So if we are at a low level of energy, we can tap into frequencies of anger and frustration and pain, right? But if we're at a high level frequency, we tap into a different experience. Literally, you're in your same seat, you're in your same house, but based on where your frequency at, where you tune into, right, is the experience that you tap into. I cannot be tapped into a classical, I can't have my radio dial at a classical radio station, but be hearing hip hop. Okay. I can't have my tuner tapped into hip hop station and be hearing classical music. Okay. We're all in the same space. You're still in your physical form, but it's the frequency and the vibration that is in you that is actually causing you to have a different outward experience than somebody else who might be sitting next to you in the same exact car. The same thing happens with life. Okay, based on our level of frequency that we're at in any given moment, all right, that actually causes us to grab certain thoughts that are passing by us right now. Literally, there's radio waves passing by, you just can't see them. This is the unseen world, right? Like literally outside of my house, there could be somebody who's parked right there and they're tapping into a radio station, which is a frequency that's passing by me, but they have a tuner and antenna, right, that is tapping into it. I'm not tapped into it right here and right now. Okay, so because we use these eyes so much, we forget the unseen world. We get the unseen world that is right before us, and it is happening, and it is actually bigger and more profound than the seen world. The seen world is just little manifestations of the unseen, and so what we're trying to do is get clarity of how the unseen works so that we can change the reality that we are seeing on a daily basis. Does that make sense, everybody? Does that make sense? All right. If you're on Instagram, please come over to juliangordon.com/TFC. juliangordon.com/TFC. So I want to keep it 100 with you all. I had a interesting week, and this week I actually was tapped into a low vibration. I went through a period of unforgiveness with somebody I love and care for deeply, but we bumped heads. Because our frequencies weren't aligned, and I could see how that change in my vibration, which I've been able to keep very high for a long time, right? That change in vibration started to change my outward experience of life. Okay, as above, so below; as within, so without. Right. So oftentimes we look at the external situation and we think that that's what's dictating how we're feeling internally, but it's actually the opposite. It's actually our internal condition, right, that is actually dictating our outward experience. If we wake up on the quote unquote wrong side of bed, which is language that we don't use here in this space, then guess what's going to happen once we step outside that door? Once we step outside the door, our day is going to unfold differently than if we remove that language of I woke up on the wrong side of bed, and that we woke up in gratitude, we woke up in joy, we woke up in love, and we step out into the same exact day, like two twins literally stepping out into the same exact day with two different mindsets, they're going to have two completely different experiences of that day. And so I dipped this week, and I was aware of the dip, and I'm still coming out of that dip. As we talked about, before we give our gift, we are meant to forgive. And I've been having some difficulty forgiving in this moment. And so the fruits that I'm bearing from being in that low vibration, I don't get mad at them because I know exactly where they came from. I know exactly where they came from. And as I move out and elevate and ascend to a higher vibration, I know that all those things that are operating at a lower vibration that I'm now experiencing, they'll all evaporate and disappear when I elevate my vibration, right? But sometimes you just want to swim in your own ish, right? I think it was last week we talked about pick up your mat and walk. Pick up your mat and walk. You ain't got to sit there waiting in this pool of pain. You don't have to, okay? But sometimes we do, right? We want to curl up and get in fetal position and play victim, and that's just part of the experience. There's no judgment of that whatsoever. But we all know that we have the power to pick up our mat and walk. And so the moment I do that, I know that my experience of my just basic day will actually change. It will change. All right. So I don't stand before you as perfect. Even throughout the New Testament, we see Jesus fluctuate in his consciousness, right? Going from I and the Father are one to Father, please take this cup from me. You know what I'm saying? Not my will, but thine will, right? So we see even Jesus fluctuate. So this is just a natural part of life. What we want to have is the ability, we want to have the ability to observe where we are and recognize that, oh, this outward experience, this outward picturing of what's happening inside of me is my doing. We want to accept full responsibility, not play victim, not this person did it to me, this institution did it to me, this country did it to me, my boss did it to me, my parents did it to me, my spouse did it to me, my boss did it to me. We know that that is not true. We know that somehow we planted that seed inside by staying in a vibration long enough for that actually to manifest as an experience that an unwanted experience, okay? And so it is hard. It's not hard. It is powerful to live a life where we take full responsibility for the experience that we're having, where we do not play the victim card whatsoever. It is powerful, but when it is powerful and it requires a lot of intention. And so it could actually be easier to play just the victim card, to say that, oh no, Julian, I didn't create that. I didn't create that experience. Somebody else did that to me. It would be easier just to be able to play that card over and over and over again until the day you die. But then there's no power there because you've given up your power to someone else. Someone else, some other institution is dictating your experience of life. That is reactionary. That is reactionary. We are supposed to be proactivists, not activists, right? We are supposed to be proactivists. Activists tend to respond or react to things that happen. Whereas when you're a proactivist, you realize that you are creating what is happening with your thoughts. Again, it's in the unseen world and we can't actually understand it, but this is what I'm going to try to show you today with this teaching on Instagram and InstaGod, all right? So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, I want to take a moment to explain what financial spirituality is. We want to welcome you to the Financial Church. And this is not the traditional church. I encourage you to go to your service, however you celebrate and worship God. I encourage you to do that on Sunday morning. And in fact, I encourage you to do it every day. But here is a space later on in the day, because we're not trying to conflict with that space in your life. We're trying to add to it. This is a space where faith meets finance, okay? And while we don't always directly talk about money, what we're focused on is actually manifestation. All right, so financial spirituality is a practice of mastering manifestation and money by learning how God creates, okay? And using the power of your mind, image, or imagination, prayers, words, and works to bring heaven, which is the mind, okay, on earth, which is our material experience, so that you may have life and have it more abundantly. That is how we currently define financial spirituality. And in fact, I'll say that that's how I define financial spirituality. I want you all to develop your own unique relationship with your creator. I do not want you to accept anything that I say here as your truth. This is my truth. This is what has allowed me to create the life that I have today. And I'm sharing it with you. Take what serves you and get rid of what doesn't. Okay. I want you to, I don't want you to think like me. I want you to think for yourself. Okay. And I want you to have your own unique relationship with your creator, however you define that. Okay. And I'm focused on relationship more than religion. If a religion and specifically is not supporting your relationship with your creator, then it is false dogma. Okay. And so what we're trying to do here is tap into our lineage and our recognition that we are all children of God. Okay. That we are all children of God and that we can go directly to our father and mother. I do not have to go through my older brother to talk to my mother and father. Okay. There are no more middlemen. We can go directly to our mother, father, God, whenever we desire to. And we want to maintain that connection to the best that we can. Okay. So what we have to recognize is that we are always already manifesting. Everything, we are planting seeds with the thoughts that we give attention to in every given moment. So manifestation, you are already a master manifester. You are already a master manifester. The question is, am I creating deliberately? Am I being intentional about the experience that I'm creating? And am I creating the experience that I desire? Okay. Everything that you have, I want in the life that you are experiencing right now, you were successful at creating. So you're all already successful. You are all 100% successful at creating the life that you currently have. The question is, do you love the life that you created? I'm going to repeat that. You are already successful. A C student is successful at getting C grades. They are successful. The question is, did they actually want a C grade? So if we accept that I have created the experience that I am having, and we take full responsibility, then we don't judge ourselves or beat ourselves up for where we might feel we are on the journey. Because whatever you're experiencing now is based on seeds that were planted in the past. So when I stepped into that space of unforgiveness, right, it didn't manifest instantaneously like that. Did it start to manifest? Yes. But it didn't materialize until I held on to that vibration long enough. So even though that moment actually happened, I think it was Tuesday, I could see manifestations of it or fruit, rotten fruit from it, start to come as of Friday and Saturday. Okay, so I'm actually grateful that manifestation doesn't happen instantaneously. I'm almost grateful that manifestation doesn't happen instantaneously, right? We want manifestation to happen instantaneously when it's good, but what if the same thing happened when we held on to a negative vibration for a long period of time? We would not want that. So the fact that there is pause in a space between the thought and the thing is actually good because it gives us time to correct. It gives us time to correct without instantaneously bearing the brunt of whatever it is that we have been thinking or holding on to. Does that make sense, y'all? You think you want all this stuff right now. You think you want to manifest this, this, and this right now, and you might not even be prepared to receive it. And you not being prepared to receive it could cause you to drown in the abundance that flows into your life. We see it with lottery winners all the time. Okay, now I know everybody here like, oh, if I won the lottery, that wouldn't be me, right? Everybody say that. Everybody say that until they're there. So I'm glad that there's actually this buffer between the thought and the actual thing, because it works for negative thoughts, okay, and it works for positive thoughts. It works both ways. The law doesn't judge good or bad. The law does not judge good or bad, y'all. It happens like a tree does not choose. A tree does not choose who it gives shade to. It doesn't ask a person who just murdered 5 people, oh, you're a murderer. No, the law of shade and of light is like, I don't judge. I give shade to the person who murdered and the person who just did tons of good. It does not judge. Gravity doesn't judge and say, oh, you murdered 5 people. I'm going to throw you down faster than I'm going to throw down this other person. No, it doesn't judge. A law is a law. It does not judge whether something is good or bad. All right. So the beautiful thing is that many of us, when we're early on in understanding these universal laws, we end up using them, or we're not aware of them. We start manifesting. And sometimes people manifest some great things without being aware of the law. They manifest some great things. But the problem is that they can't replicate that thing. And so even though they created something great, because they're not aware of the law and how to use it, they're actually fearful of losing what they created because they don't know how to replicate it. But if you understood the universal laws, these unseen laws that are at play, and you created something good and great, and it got taken away from you, then guess what? You would have full confidence that you could create it again, because the laws haven't changed. The law is still the law. Okay, so what we're trying to do is become aware of these universal unseen laws that are at play so that we can be more deliberate creators. All right, so some of our belief statements are as follows, or I'll say my belief statements. Okay? I believe that as a child of God, I have access to everything that is in God's will for me to have. I will receive it when I'm ready. Okay. And we know that scripture says it is done unto you as you believe. So I encourage you actually to create your own belief statements. If some of these resonate with you at a high level, then go ahead and use them. But again, I'm not trying to give you my relationship with my creator. Okay. What I want for you to do is cultivate your relationship with your creator, whatever you call it, however you define it, however you worship it. I'm not saying that you need to meditate like me. I'm not saying that you need to use the language. I'm not saying that you need to have the same belief statements. I want everybody to seek. It says, seek and ye shall find. Okay. I want everyone to seek. The problem is that we chose to outsource our religion our relationship. We started to outsource our relationship through religion, right? To prophets, to popes, and to preachers and priests. Okay. And now is the time for us to actually create our individual, unique relationship with our creator and go direct, no middlemen. Okay. I seek first the kingdom of God, knowing that all the things I need will be added unto me. I'm about my Father's business, and when I am, I will have life and have it more abundantly. I believe that I'm here to manifest the divine ideas planted in the heaven of my mind on earth, right? Bring the kingdom on earth as it is in heaven, which is my material experience. And I believe that there's more than enough. I have more than enough, and that I am more than enough, for God is the infinite source of my supply. Okay. All right. So those are my belief statements. I encourage you to come up with yours. Create 5 if you can. Now, here we know that breath is so essential, that we are vessels, we are instruments, and we aren't actually breathing. For those of you who are new, I want you to come into the awareness that you are not actually breathing. You don't control your breath. You are actually being breathed through. With the exception of asthma, coronavirus, which is a respiratory disease, right? Respiratory. All of us receive breath, oxygen, without worry. Okay. And Jesus over and over in the New Testament says, dude, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. That's like the 3rd commandment, is don't worry, right? And so what we want to do with financial spirituality is tap into the same trust that we have of God when it comes to breathing in oxygen. We want that same trust with anything that we want to manifest, including money, that it is always going to be there on time as we need it. Okay? That is the ultimate goal. That is the truest form of wealth. This is the form of wealth that Jesus had. He didn't need to have material goods to show his wealth. He didn't need to have kingdoms or gold or thrones or anything like that, because he was tapped into the longest line of credit in the entire universe. He was directly tapped in to abundant bank, which is God. Okay? So much so that he felt he and the Father were one. I'm about my Father's business. I'm about to take over CEO. I'm about to become CEO of this business. I'm inheriting this. Okay? This is succession planning at its finest. All right? So so the scripture says, then the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils and breathed a breath of life, and man became a living being. All right? So what we're going to do right now is we are going to take a moment to breathe. We're going to take 3 deep breaths in, and this is just our opportunity to connect with our creator. Okay. And we plug in our cell phones all the time, but do we plug in ourselves all the time? We plug in our cell phones all the time, but do we plug in ourselves all the time? The cells are what we need to oxygenate, I think that's the word. The cells are what we need to oxygenate. And so we can simply do that at all times without electricity, simply by breathing. So let's take 3 breaths in, okay? That's all you have to do to plug in and to remind yourself that you will always be provided for. When's the last time, can somebody tell me the last time they worried about oxygen? Anybody in chat, let me know, when's the last time you worried about getting oxygen? Like, oh man, like oxygen was on your to-do list. When's the last time you had oxygen on your to-do list? Anybody? Like, oh, I gotta get some oxygen today. Like, unless you gotta go get an inhaler for asthma, right? You ain't thinking about no oxygen. It's just always provided for you. So this is the ultimate relationship that we want to have to any manifestation that we desire, and as well as money, okay? So as we get into today's teaching, I want to start off with some scriptures that are going to set us up for being able to receive this, all right? Of course, we know Psalms 23:7, it says, as he or she thinketh in his or her heart, so is she or he, okay? As a man thinketh, so he is. As a woman thinketh, so she is, okay? So this is really key. A lot of y'all know that one and love that one, okay? Then Psalms 19:14 says, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. So here's something very interesting. We know that the heart is what? For those of you who have been here for quite some time, what do you know? The heart is what? It represents what? Anytime it comes up in the Bible, what does the heart represent? What does the heart represent? The heart represents the subconscious mind, okay? It represents the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind, this is why it can meditate. Typically, we think of meditation as thinking, right? Our conscious mind thinking or slowing down its thinking. But the heart is the subconscious mind. So this is why it says the meditations of my heart. Your heart has the ability to think and feel, okay? Now, your conscious mind is the CEO, and it is directive, and it can make decisions, and it's been given power over the heart, right, over the subconscious. It can actually suggest and impress upon the subconscious, but the subconscious is really where the power is. The subconscious is really where the power is. The subconscious processes 40 million bits per second. The conscious mind processes 40 bits per second. Conscious mind is powerful, but it's nowhere near as powerful as the subconscious mind, okay? So here we see the meditations of our heart, right? And so this is basically what we are thinking on deeply. Even when we're not aware that we're thinking of it in the conscious mind, these are the things that we're thinking on deeply in the subconscious mind or the heart, all right? And then Mark 13, 32, 37 says, but about the day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven nor the Son, but only the Father. Be on guard. This is why we taught a couple weeks ago, we have to be guard inners. We're guarding our inner, right? We're guarding our inner. We're guarding our thought life. We're guarding our conscious and subconscious mind, because there's so many external influences trying to penetrate into us and tell us how to think about ourselves. But anything that deviates from us being reminded that we are children of God is taking us astray, okay? Anything that deviates from reminding us that we are children of God is taking us astray, okay? So be on guard, right? Keep watch, be alert. You do not know when the time will come. It is like a man going away. He leaves his house and puts his servants in charge, each with their assigned task, and tells the one at the door to keep watch. Okay? So listen to this, y'all. Remember, we take a metaphysical approach to the Bible. This is not literal. Who is keeping watch at the door? Who is keeping watch at the door, y'all? What part of our body is keeping watch at the door? What part of our body is keeping watch at the door? What part of ourselves? This is why I like the question. and ask. I want you to think. Which, David, it's our minds, but what part of our mind? No, the conscious mind keeps watch at the door. And then what are the servants? What are the servants? Who works for you at night when you're asleep? Who keeps you breathing? Who keeps your heart pumping? Who tells you when it's time to go to the bathroom while you're asleep? The subconscious mind is the servant. So the conscious mind is keeping watch at the door, making sure that these influences that are trying to penetrate do not get inside, right? And then the servants of the house, we know that house means what? House means mind, right? Anytime you see house in the Bible, especially in the New Testament or the Gospels, we know that it means mind, right? The scripture, a house divided against itself cannot stand. That's not just talking about a marriage, y'all. It's talking about a mind divided against itself cannot stand. When there's incongruent thinking in the mind, it cannot stand. So this is why we look at scripture from a metaphysical standpoint. It's like a 7-layer dip. When you eat a 7-layer dip, you do not just scrape off the surface. You got to go all the way in to get the goodness of what is there. All right. So therefore, keep watch. This is the word watch or keep watch. This command is all throughout Jesus's teaching. Keep watch because you do not know when the owner of the house will come back, whether in the evening or midnight or at midnight or when the rooster crows or at dawn. If he comes suddenly, do not let him find you sleeping. Right? What I say to you, I say to everyone, watch, watch, watch. Okay? So that's what we're talking about today, because Instagram is probably one of the most consumed spaces in our lives today. Okay? You go look at how much time you spend on Instagram on average. A lot of people are watching Instagram. Okay? So that's why this is so critical to the teaching today. Right? Matthew 4:4 says, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God. And what this is saying is that we feed on God's word. Okay. And what we're going to get into today is your Instagram feed. We're going to get into your Instagram feed. All right. So let's start there. And for those of you who are on Instagram, I really, really encourage you to go to juliangordon.com//TFC, because I'm actually going to need you to use your phone for today's teaching. I'm going to need you to use your phone to go with me through today's teaching. So please come over. If you have another device, please come over to juliangordon.com/TFC so you can get the most out of this experience today. Okay. So let's start with your news feed. Your news feed. This is actually screenshots of my news feed. And I'm so grateful for the way my news feed looks right now. Because guess what? Your news feed is actually a reflection of how you are thinking and feeling at this moment in time. Okay? It is what you are giving energy to and what you are attracting. Right? So some of you wouldn't want me to grab your phone right now. How many of you would not want me to grab your phone right now and see your news feed? How many of you would not want me to grab your phone right now and see your news feed? Keep it real. Keep it real. All right. So this is my actual news feed. And these were some of the first stories that came up. This was my friend Dwight. He's putting on an amazing conference for young men. Ty, she's teaching youth how to invest in stocks. Tiffany from Rich Girl Collective, she's empowering women. And then Andre, he's helping people build their notary businesses. So this literally came up in my feed, right? And so when I see this, when I scroll and I see this, and it's so crazy. Remember, we talk about the specifics of the English language. We're scrolling, and what was the Bible written on, y'all? What were these ancient texts written on? They were written on scrolls, y'all. Ain't that crazy? That just hit me. Yeah, one scroll is a noun and one is a verb, right? But these texts were written on scrolls, and here we are scrolling through images every single day. We're going straight back to hieroglyphs, in case you didn't know. What were hieroglyphs? They were just images, emojis, and we're just going back to image-based language. Chinese is still image-based, okay? So this is, the English language is powerful, and we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, so go check that out, all right? So I'm very happy with my feed when I took these screenshots for you, okay? Now it says your father knows what you need before you even ask him. Your father knows what you need before you even ask him. Watch this, y'all. When you see an Instagram ad, this is one that I saw. It is of a portable, restickable whiteboard. I love whiteboards. How many of y'all love whiteboards? Because it allows you to get your divine ideas, your $1 million ideas, right, out onto some sort of surface. It turns them into, there's the 1D, then there's 2D, right? 1D is the thought, 2D is when we get it out of our mind and into the world on a flat surface, and then 3D is the manifestation of it, right? So this ad, because of my behavior on Instagram, popped up. I don't know if they saw me looking at dry erase boards or they saw me saving things from business ideas, etc., right? But this ad comes up. Look at this, y'all. The Father, your Father, knows what you need before you even ask. You see, again, we as children of God are trying to create the way our Father and Mother God creates. And so the internet is really parallel to consciousness. It is a parallel to consciousnness, right? It is the collective consciousness of the entire world stored in one place that's searchable, findable, etc. We try to replicate what our Father, as on earth as it is in heaven, on earth as it is in heaven. Okay, so a lot of people are like, "Oh no, the internet's bad, this and that." What do they say? Yeah, just the internet is bad or whatnot. And no, it's just as on earth as it is in heaven. We're just trying to be like our daddy and our mama. That's it. She get it from her mama. She get it from her mama. And yes, again, for all the ladies who are here, I just want to remind you that in the Hebrew language, there's no neuter. So anytime you see he and God, the representative of the Father is he, there's no neuter in the English, in the Hebrew language. So the writer, which was typically Moses in Genesis, defaulted to his own pronoun, which is he, okay? But you were right there in the beginning, and male and female, we created them. They created them. Let us make man in our own image, man being mankind. So again, I just have to remind ladies that because I know how many times you've been told that God is a father, right? And I feel my responsibility, part of my responsibility, ultimately it's your responsibility, is to affirm more that God is also mother, that God is also mother, all right? So these retargeting ads that we see, right, is kind of a manifestation of the father and mother knowing exactly what we need before we need them, okay? So let me show you how Instagram is like Insta-God, right? Look at this. Your news feed on Instagram is similar to your God experience, which is your outward experience of life. Your news feed is similar to the outward experience of life or the thought stream that you have, okay? The thought stream that you have, okay? Then on Instagram, you can favorite, share, comment, watch, like. All of this is giving attention to something, regardless if you love it or hate it. Remember, the universal laws do not care who uses them. It has no judgment, okay? All it cares about is who applies them and gives them energy. Insta-God is based on what we think, how we talk, and what we watch, okay? This is what we give our attention to, regardless of whether we love it or hate it, okay? And then the algorithm that Instagram has is identical to the universal laws. It's identical to the universal laws. It is the law that says you reap what you sow, okay? You reap what you sow. As a man thinketh, so is he. It's the universal laws. That's what the algorithm is representing. The hashtags on Instagram are like general categories of thoughts. Some of you are thinking about your family. Some of you thinking about your career. Some of you thinking about your health, right? Some of you thinking about coronavirus. That's become a thought form inside of you, okay? It's occupying some of your thought energy, okay? So, and then the thing about worry and why Jesus continued to tell us not to worry is because worry, it is like yeast, and it expands and takes over the mind, right? So much that you can't think about the things that you want to be focused on because you're so focused on this projected idea of what's going to come in the future. Then your followers on Instagram are like the thoughts that you follow. It's the thoughts that you follow, okay? These are the wavelengths that you tap into. And then who you follow on Instagram is like who you follow is the thoughts that are leading you. The thoughts that are leading you. Okay, so you have to see this parallel, and I'm going to go into it a little bit deeper in just a second. Okay. Oh, profile. Yes, your profile is what you put out into the world, your identity, your personality. Okay, how you choose to show up every single day. Throughout the New Testament, Jesus says, "Who do you say that I am?" And Jesus really didn't care about the answer. Everybody said, "You're this and you're that, you're this and that." Jesus rarely answers that question. Okay, he has his own identity, but he was interested in seeing, well, just for the sake of it, well, how other people perceived him. But the way I navigate Instagram, I don't care how other people perceive me. I don't get into debates and things of that nature. I'm not trying to convert or project my beliefs on anyone. I do want people to think. All right. And some of us some of us are hiding. Some of us are hiding in terms of our Instagram, your own personal website. You're not really being honest about who you truly are. And I know, because that was me too. I was playing it safe. I wasn't sharing all of who I am. And now I don't, it's not that I don't care. I just don't care about what other people think. I care about other people. I just don't care what other people think about me. All I care about is what God thinks about me. That's the only thing that matters, how God sees me. All right. So I share in those public spaces to the best of my ability, my authentic self. I put out a controversial post today. It wasn't intended to be controversial, but it rubbed some people the wrong way. Okay. But I'm getting people to think. All right. I don't want people to think just like me. I want them to think for themselves. Okay. So this is part of our work, is being more authentic about who we are and what we want. The reason some of us aren't getting what we want in this experience called life is because we haven't been honest about what we want. We're afraid that we can't say that, oh, I want $1 million. We're afraid that we can't say, I want this kind of partner who will treat me like this, this, and this, because we're allowing limiting beliefs to prevent us from accepting that as a possibility. Like, if you just truly said what you really, really wanted, if you truly walked in who you know you really are, you didn't hide, you didn't put on any masks, no facades, what would your life look like if you just truly stood in who you know yourself to be? Okay? Didn't hide behind a profession, no degrees, didn't hide behind this or that. And you just said, this is who I am and this is what I want. And I'm not ashamed of that. This is how I was designed. This is innately who I am. And I'm not going to shy away from that. It can be scary. It can be scary. But you will get more of what you want when you claim and are honest about more about who you are and what you want. Okay? So let's keep it pushing. So on Instagram, there are levels of attention. There are levels of attention that we give on Instagram, all right? And I want you all to help me. What do you think is the lowest level of attention on Instagram? What's the lowest level of attention? What is the action you can do on Instagram that's the lowest level? Teresa says likes, okay? Then after likes, what's higher than likes? Twilla says just look. I don't even like it, I just look. That's a good one. Okay. Then Catherine says comments. Great. Then, Wasanda said comments. Then what comes after comments? What comes after comments? Shares. Good. Direct messages. Saving the post. Good. Subscribing. Following. Good. You're giving more and more energy to the things with these actions. Each of these actions require a different level of commitment, right? So at the bottom, this is what I found as I was thinking about it. There's actually, I need to add what I think Teresa said. I'm gonna add this one, is look, okay? You can just look at something, and guess what? Instagram tracks that, yo. Instagram tracks what you look at. It knows how long you looked at it, okay? Then there's like, right? You liking it, you literally moving your finger and you're saying, I like it, okay? Then there's searching. When you go search, Instagram tracks and saves your searches. You can go look at your search bar right now. You go click on the magnifying glass icon, that's showing, oh, when you're searching something, what is that suggesting? What does it suggest when you're searching something? What does it suggest when you search for something? That you're interested. that you're interested, that you want more, okay? Then, and then actually this is supposed to be the other way around. Then it's partial video view. Instagram knows how long you watch videos, whether you just started it for 3 seconds or if you watch the full thing. Those are different levels of attention, because now what are you doing? You're trading your most valuable resource for what? Which is what? You're giving your time. Universe says, oh, wow, this person, Instagram, the universe says this person is giving time to this thing. They must want more of it, because that is the most valuable thing that they have. Remember, y'all, everything costs time. I'm gonna break this down for you. Actually, I'm gonna break out the dry erase board for this, okay? Look at this, y'all. Everything costs time. Time is your most valuable resource, right? So we have an iPhone. We have an iPhone, okay? And there is a CEO that makes $100 an hour. And then there's a janitor. There's a janitor that makes $10 an hour, okay? iPhone costs $1,000, right? How much does the iPhone cost a CEO, y'all? How much does the iPhone cost a CEO? The iPhone costs a CEO 10 hours. They work for 10 hours, they can get the iPhone. How much does it cost a janitor? Yeah, the iPhone does not cost, it costs a CEO $1,000, but how much does it cost a janitor? The same iPhone, even though they have the same price tag, it costs a janitor 100 hours. This is how you know everything costs time, y'all. When you give your time, your energy, your attention to something, you're giving your most valuable thing away. Okay? So every time you go purchase something now, every time you go purchase something and you see a price tag, I want you to ask yourself, how much time is this costing me based on what I'm able to earn right now? If you actually ran those numbers, you wouldn't buy half the things that you buy. Wait a second. This dinner is costing me a whole day of work. Wait a second. This trip is going to cost me 3 weeks of work. If you start evaluating, because your energy is sacred, it's the most sacred thing that you have, right? If you start evaluating, and we know that money is what? For those people who are new, let everybody know, what is money? How do we define money here in the financial church? Money is what? It is stored energy. It is stored energy, not just energy, it is stored energy. And so when we give that stored energy away, we're giving away our time. We're giving away our life force in that moment for usually something that is dead. We're giving away our life force for usually something that is dead. Okay? So this is really key. So keep going. Now you watch the full video and now you're commenting. Now you're like, oh, I really, really like this. I'm about to type in something. And then I like it so much, I'm willing to be an ambassador for it. I'm going to share it. And then I want to see more like this. I want to save this because it was so good to me. It nourished my soul. I'm going to favorite it. Okay. So these are the different levels of energy on Instagram. Our thought life works the exact same way. There are different levels of energy that we give to certain thoughts that are passing through by us all the time. And when thoughts grab our attention, some of us, we look at that thought and then we just let it go. Okay. Just like our Instagram feed. I look at it, I let it go. I like it. Okay. Then I let it go. I don't need to see it again. I liked it though. Right. Now I'm looking for more thought, or I'm searching for it. I'm looking for more thoughts that are like that. I'm going to go deeper into it. I'm going to keep my eye and attention on this thought for a partial period of time. Now, no, I'm going to focus on this thought. I'm going to watch this thought all the way through. Okay. Now I'm going to start engaging with this thought by commenting on it and having a conversation in my head, or even might have a conversation with other people. Okay. Now I'm going to start sharing this thought out into the world. Right. And now I'm going to claim to my subconscious mind to note that this thought is one of my favorite thoughts. Y'all see how this is matching up? You see the parallel. You see the parallel. Let me know. Okay, so we are giving different levels of attention and energy to thoughts, and we have to be very mindful. We have to be mindful. So it says they will have fear, they will have no fear of bad news. Okay, their hearts are steadfast, trusting in the Lord. Now, this is really key, especially with the situation around Ahmaud Arbery. And I have to show you something because I need you to be aware that, and I'm gonna repeat this, that the universal law doesn't care if the thought it has a negative charge or a positive charge. It doesn't care. It only cares that what? The universe only cares about what? Doesn't care if it's negative or positive. All it cares is about whether or not you are giving it energy. It doesn't care if it's good or bad. The universe does not, universal laws do not judge. Okay? So let me show you this. And this is where I need you to be all mindful. Police brutality videos. I know a lot of people who are here at the Financial Church are people of color, and these videos come through our feed when one of our brothers or sisters gets taken advantage of by the police. Okay? And I want you to notice that on social media, there is no hate button. There is no hate button. There is no thumbs down button on social media. There is only like. There's only like. There's only I'm giving this energy. No thumbs up, thumbs down, none of that. It's either you're giving it energy or you're not. That is the choice. Give it energy or not give it energy. There's no I like it, I don't like it. Okay? It's either I'm giving it energy or I'm not giving it energy. So, what happens when you consume these police brutality videos? What happens when you consume these police brutality videos? What does it tell the algorithm or the universal law? What does it tell the algorithm or the universal law? Exactly. I want more. Man, this is hard to accept. But the reality is that you're literally telling the universe, the universal laws, I want more of it. I'm willing to exchange my time and my energy to watch it. And the universe says, what does the genie say when your wish is my command? That's what Aladdin is really about. Your wish is my command. Okay, so you watch or consume, and the brother whose name I blacked out here, you see, look at this, 42,000 views, two separate ones that he posted literally in the past 2 weeks. Brother, I respect him. He is a community leader. He is trying to keep the people aware. But in my mind, he's actually keeping us asleep. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go try to correct him. I'm just going to continue to create in the way that I believe I should create. But he has great influence. Okay. So what happens is you watch this video, even though you hate it. You watch this video, even though you hate it. And the algorithm says, oh, he or she gave this attention, which is the most valuable thing that they have. So I'm going to give them more of it. And so little do you know, next time you log into Instagram and you're scrolling down, not only do you see that same video over and over from other people who have similar tags, but now they start sending you other police brutality videos with similar tags. And you're wondering, why are all these police brutality videos showing up, right? And you are now, your picture, your image of your world is a world where on every street corner, a Black boy or Black girl is getting beat up. That becomes your image of life because of what you've been feeding. You fed this video. You gave it life by giving it your energy and your attention. Now, the beautiful thing is that this law works the other way around. You could watch a video that is heavenly, okay? And what's gonna happen is you're gonna get more heavenly videos that come in your feed. You've literally changed your attention. You've changed what's going to flow in your feed because you are now focused on something different. That's the beautiful part about it, is that it flows the other way just the same. So I don't know if police brutality is going to end anytime soon. So all of you will have the opportunity to probably consume another police brutality video. I want to encourage you to be mindful when that opportunity comes. What is it actually going to do for you by consuming that video to the end? If it only makes you more angry, then that is going to cloud how you see the world. Now your mind is angry, you're energetically angry. Now your eyes see with anger, and therefore that's only going to shape your experience of the life that you are having. How will it serve you to consume that entire video? It's one thing to be aware without fully plugged in, being fully plugged in to what's happening. Awareness is a detached bird's eye view. We can go out there and we can go march and things of that nature, but what is marching? Marching is a whole bunch of energy. And the yield from the energy of marching hasn't been that great. If you just look at the world energetically, right, you'll realize that it serves you none to continue to consume. It serves you none to get angry, unless you're able to transmute that anger towards some sort of positive action that creates the world that you desire. If we are stuck at a gas station, y'all, okay, in the middle of Nevada, and we got $10 in our pocket, okay? You got $10 in your pocket. That's it, okay? And two cars pull into the gas station. One is going the way you want, and one is not going the way you want. Whose tank do you put the $10 in? Whose tank do you put the $10 in? You're trying to hitchhike. You don't have a car. Two cars pulling the gas station. One's going east, one going west. You want to go west. All you have is $10. Do you put any, okay, the way you want to go, do you put any energy into the tank of the car that's going in the opposite direction that you're trying to go? Do you put, do you even give them $1? No. You give it no dollars, because that does not help you get to where you're trying to go. Pushing against that which you want does not help you get to where you're trying to go. That which you resist, persist. That which you resist, persist. If you ever been in an argument and one person is heated and you just choose not to respond, what happens to this person's energy and their anger when you're not responding back? Eventually it dissipates because they're not getting a reaction out of you. You're not giving up your energy, because if you actually start fighting back, then that causes escalation. That causes escalation. So this is an energy and attention management game that we're playing. I remember back in the day, I used to focus so much on time management. But you could have great time management, but if your energy isn't there, if your attention isn't there, then you're still not going to be able to win the game. All right? So I'm letting you all know this. There are going to be videos that come up in your feed that want to consume and feed off of. There are going to be videos that want to feed off of your life force, your energy, your attention. And I'm just encouraging you and making you aware that you have a decision to make, that you are at a crossroads, yay or nay, yay or nay in that moment, right? Everybody is having a unique experience of this thing called life. This person says boat, this person says land. This person says it's deep, this person says no, it's not. This person says 6, this person says 9. We are all having a unique experience of life based on where we are at energetically. The same life is unfolding for all of us, but how we perceive it based on where we are within is shaping how we experience it. How we perceive it is shaping how we experience it. For those of you on Instagram, it's going to end in a second, and I'm going to restart it. So rejoin us in just a second. Are y'all with me on this? One moment, I'm getting these folks started. All right. So a lot of us have been waiting for life to change. We've been waiting for life to change, but guess what? Life is going to be what it is. Life is what it is. What you can change and what you have the power to change is your perspective. And your perspective is shaped by what you think, how you feel, and what you give your attention and energy to. They say people want to change the world. What did Gandhi say? What did Gandhi say? How do you change the world? Be the change. He didn't say go change the world and then be happy. He said be the change. If I'm going to change the world, I need a world of change in me. If I'm going to change the world, I need a world of change in me. Stop trying to change other things outside of you, hoping that those changes make you feel better about your life. Instead, you feel better about your life, and guess what? The outward things that you're experiencing will feel good as well. It's the law of correspondence, okay? So we have to monitor ourselves. Look at this, the coronavirus. The media is an outward picturing and manifestation. The media is an outward picturing and manifestation of our fear-based reptilian brain, okay? I think it's our amygdala, okay? When you see these numbers about coronavirus, what does it show you? What does it show you? What do these numbers show you? Deaths, despair, infected. Catherine got it. There are more people healing and recovering than there are dying by a landslide. Now, I respect and honor all of those lives that passed away, okay? But when you really look at the numbers, there are more people recovering from this thing than there are dying. So the media, being an outward representation of our fear-based amygdala, magnifies the negative. More people die of the flu, the common flu, than have died of coronavirus. So we have to understand that more good is happening in the world than there is bad. And here's how you know. If there was more bad happening than good, and I'm going to rephrase that. When we see negativity in the news, the reason we see negativity in the news, and what is the gospel called? The gospel is called good news, right? When we see negativity in the news, it's because that negativity is an outlier or aberration from what actually is. The news is sensational and surprising because our default is actually good. So because our default is good and it would be boring to report more good, the news reports bad. Here's where you would be scared. If our default was bad and the news started reporting good things, young man walks old woman across the street. Organization donates $100 to the homeless. If the news started reporting good things, then we would probably know that the world and our default is actually bad. Did y'all catch that? There is more good happening in the world at every given moment than we can even imagine. The bad, the negative that's happening in the world, it's not even comparable. It is not even comparable. But what we choose to focus our energy and attention on magnifies the bad and makes it appear as if it's bigger than it actually is. So I have full faith and trust that there is more good happening in the world at every given moment than there are bad. And therefore, when negative things happen, I don't jump up in arms, but I affirm that more good is happening and that this is a rare occurrence. It is not our default way of being. It is a rare occurrence that this particular situation is unfolding. And this is why it is a surprise to us. This is why it is a shock to us, because it is rare. Now, of course, the rate that Black men are being murdered by police, etc., seems rapid. In comparison to other ethnic groups, it is rapid. But even in that, I believe that more good is happening in the world at any given moment than there is bad. Some may disagree with that, but just remember, Scripture says, it is done unto you as you believe. If you believe that there's more evil in the world than there is good, then guess what your experience of life will be? You will experience that evil is always beating good. That will be your experience. There's no other way it can be. That is the law. You will always find stories and narratives and people and gossip and things of that nature to confirm what you believe, that evil is beating bad, that the devil is beating God. Are you serious? Devil beating God? The creator of all is losing? Come on. Come on, we have to stand on, on truth, y'all. Yes, Wendy says, where your mind goes, energy flows, right? So Matthew 9:29 says, it is done unto you as you believe. Okay, I just said that. Henry Ford said it in another way. Whether you think you can or you can't, either way, you are right. Whether you think you can or you can't, either way, you are right. This is why I don't get into debates with people on Instagram. I just say, that's cool. It's done unto you as you believe. And that's okay. I don't need them to believe what I believe in order for me to feel good. I don't need to have the biggest set to feel good about my life. I could be the only one on the island who believes something and feel good. I don't have to have numbers behind me like, look how many people believe what I believe. This is why I feel good. That's not how I roll. That's not how I roll. I don't need that. As long as I feel alignment with my creator, then I'm good. I don't need a whole bunch of people believing what I believe to confirm my beliefs. All right? And this is what religion, most larger religions have come to do, is said our set is bigger, we got more, we're converting more people, this and that. And I think it's throwing us off. And when I read the New Testament over and over and over, what we are experiencing as religion today does not appear to be in alignment with how Jesus would want us to honor God and the God within us today. It just doesn't. It's so far off. It is so far off based on my reading, and I could be wrong, but based on my reading, it is so far off, and I just want to be as in alignment with my creator and source as I possibly can be. When you're in alignment, you tap into flow, and being in alignment is like being in a rowboat trying to get across the Pacific Ocean and trying to paddle your way across. But when you're in alignment, you're able to tap into the wind, and you're able to use this power that is beyond yourself to get to your destination. This is what alignment means. You can hustle all you want, trying to row all you want, you're going to tire yourself out. The highest way to create is through manifestation, and that's tapping into the God. That's tapping into God, okay? There's manipulation, which is a sleight of hand. There's manpower, which is you using your own hands to try to manifest. And then there's manifestation, which is you using God's hand. You getting in alignment and using God's hand to manifest. What you've seen me manifest over the past 6 years in terms of my real estate, my wealth, etc., wasn't me. It was me being in alignment. My work was being in alignment. I didn't do all of this. Jesus said it, of myself, I do nothing. But we've been conditioned in terms of like independent thinking. I want you to be an independent thinker, but independence, that in the Puritan work ethic, right? That it's my hard work that is actually going to get me all the things that I want. And I'm not saying that hard work is not part of the equation. There are times where you have to go put it in. You have to go sweat, okay? But hard work is only part of the formula, and it is not the biggest part. The biggest part of the formula is alignment. The biggest part of the formula is getting in alignment with the creator. and what its will is and what its will is for your life. If you tap into that, that is an infinite energy supply. It is the longest line of credit that exists. And so this is what we focus on here. And until you get to this level of wealth consciousness, yeah, you may still have to hustle, hustle, hustle. But my hope is that through this ministry, you elevate from poverty consciousness to wealth consciousness and know that there's levels to this. There's levels to this. Even when Jesus was healing y'all, he didn't say, I healed you. Does anybody know what he said when he would heal somebody? Does anybody know what he said when somebody got healed in his presence? He didn't say, I healed you. Thank you. Your faith has made you well. He didn't say, I made you well. He said, your faith made you well. Your belief made you well. He didn't say, I made you well. Look at me, I'm over here healing folks. Look at me, boom, boom, you healed, you healed, you healed. No, your faith, your belief is what made you whole and what made you well. Of myself, I do nothing. I'm just trying to be a vehicle and an instrument. It's a more trust-based form of living. It's a more trust-based form of living. And this is what I'm trying to encourage and espouse by just being a living example and demonstration of it myself, all right? So Matthew 5:37, he says, all you need to say is simply yes or no. Anything beyond this comes from the evil one. It's either yay or nay, y'all. Yay or nay. Literally, when you look at computer programming code, it is just zeros and ones. Every website that you go to, if we really go back to the source, it's just zeros and ones. You look at the matrix code, what is it? It's zeros and ones. It's just zeros and ones, okay? When you are making choices in your life about what you're gonna give your attention to, you're choosing between 0 and 1. You're choosing between your base self and your best self. Your base self and your best self. Am I gonna wake up early this morning, on Monday morning? Base self, best self, yes or no? Am I going to kiss my loved one? Yes, base self, best self, yes or no? Am I going to eat healthy? Am I gonna eat a healthy breakfast? Base self, best self, yes or no? Am I gonna read? And am I gonna do some self-development? Base self, best self, yes or no? Am I gonna exercise this morning? Base self, best self, yes or no? And the more you choose your base self, the more you're gonna live a basic life. And the more you choose your best self, the more you're gonna live your best life. Life is binary, y'all. It's not this complex thing, okay? It's not just this one single event that's gonna change your life forever. It's you literally making these small choices every single day, these zeros and ones, yays or nays, between your base self and your best self. And how you view your Instagram feed and any other thing that you consume is an opportunity, a fork in the road for you to choose between your base self and your best self. And the more sequentially you choose your best self, the better your life is gonna be. There's no other secret, y'all. It's just becoming aware of all the choices that you have in your given day, thousands of them. Some of us have put those choices on default. We've gotten to habits where we're no longer thinking about them and they're not leading us to our highest or best self. And now it's time to reclaim those choices, starting with your Instagram feed about what you're consuming, what you're liking, what you're favoriting, what you're giving attention to. Life is binary. It's yay or nay. Anything else beyond that comes from the evil one. Anytime you're trying to stay in the gray area, well, I kind of like this, but I don't like it, right? I want to be rich, but I hate rich people, right? This is where we get into confusion in the gray area, and it's not clear. You aren't being clear to the universe, to the universal law, to God, what you want. I kind of want that, God. I'm thinking about it. No, it's either yay or nay. Do you want it or do you not? Are you going to do it or are you not going to do it? Are you going to be in alignment? Going to not be in alignment? It's yay or nay. All right? So here's what we're going to do. And this is why, for those of you on Instagram, I need you, I'm going to type it in on Instagram. Please go to juliangordon.com right now. We're about to bring heaven down to earth. Okay? And here we don't just leave with a whole bunch of notes. We actually take action. So we're about to bring heaven down to earth, and I need you to have Instagram in your hand as you do this. So go to juliangordon.com/TFC for The Financial Church. I'm posting that right now and I'm pinning it. Please come join us because we're about to go through a process. So everybody who's here on Zoom, I need you to get out your phone. I need you to get out your phone right now and tell me when you have it in your hand and Instagram is open. And if you don't have Instagram, then just follow along for the concept, okay? Come on, y'all. I need y'all to let me know. I see some folks. It's way more of y'all here. All right. So we need to tell the algorithm, which is the universal law, what we're interested in, what we're not interested in. So first, we're going to do what we're not interested in. You see, in my Explore page, this icon, this search, in my Explore page, I had this I think, what is his name? 69 something. I don't even know the dude's name, right? Tech 69. I don't know what his name is, but a good 69 Tanashi. What is it? I don't care. But anyways, he's one of these big artists, and he's perverting hip hop and things of that nature. But anyways, I kept hearing his name. People were making videos about him, etc. And I didn't want to go look at him for his music or his message. I wanted to look at him for how he was having such great influence on all these people that I was hearing it from, right? But guess what? The universe doesn't care why. It doesn't care why. All it cares about is what? All it cares about is what? That I'm giving him energy. All it cares about is the fact that I'm giving him energy. So because I did a search on him over here, then guess who starts showing up in my Explore page? He starts showing up in my Explore page. So here's what I had to do, and here's what I want all of you to do. I want you to go to Explore page, click the magnifying glass icon right now. We're bringing heaven down to earth. Okay. I want you to scroll through there for 20 seconds. And in the upper right, in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see these 3 dots. Okay, these 3 dots. You're going to click that, and then you're going to click Not Interested. If something comes up in your Explore page that is no longer serving you and that you do not want to see anymore, I want you to go through your Explore page, and I want you to eliminate 3 things that the algorithm, that universal law, is sending you because of what you've given your attention to in the past. I want you to tell it right now, I'm not interested in seeing anything else about this, okay? So everybody go ahead and do that. We are on Instagram right now, and we're bringing heaven down to earth. We're bringing today's teaching down to earth by actually taking action, starting with our Instagram feed. We feed it and it feeds us. We feed it and it feeds us. And we are trying to be more mindful about what it is feeding us and seeing what it is feeding us as a reflection of how we've been thinking and what we've been giving our energy and attention to in the past. You're going to click the magnifying glass icon down here in the lower left. That will put you on the Explore page. And then if there's anything on the Explore page that is not serving you, you got some muscular man with his shirt off and because of things you looked at in the past, you got some woman shaking her butt in the thong, right? Because of things you looked at in the past, you got somebody like 6ix9ine whoever in your feed, and he's no longer serving you. He served his purpose. Click Not Interested. What we're doing right now is we're telling the universe, no, I'm not interested in this. We're telling the algorithm, I am not interested in this anymore. Do not send me anything else that is in alignment with this thought level or this thought pattern or this frequency. Okay? Carmelita said, I'm seeing crab legs, decor, nature, and cute babies. Carmelita, you are in good standing. Desperate housewives, deleting those. Ermil, I'm so happy to hear that your Explore page is in alignment. That's a good sign, okay? We're just cleaning up house right now. Some people got cleaner houses than others. What? Your house is what? Your house is your mind, okay? Instagram is just a reflection of what you've been thinking about and what you've given your attention to, all right? So the next thing is you're gonna go to, you're gonna click on your profile picture, and then you're gonna click on saved. Anything that you save with a flag, okay? These flags are on the Instagram post themselves, they're on the right, but you're gonna go to your profile picture, okay? Let me see, You're going to, it should be in the lower right-hand corner, and then you're going to see Archive, Insights, Your Activity, Name Tag, and Save. What I want you to do is click on the saved flag on Instagram so you can see all of your saved posts from the past, okay? And what I want you to do now is go to all of the saved posts that you saved, the ones that are no longer serving you, and I want you to click on them and unclick the saved button, saved flag, the bookmark flag, so that you are telling the universe, the algorithm, that I saved this in the past, I no longer need this anymore. And I don't want any more content, any more life experiences that are in alignment with this type of thinking, right? So I'm gonna give you about 30 seconds to do that. Again, if your saved images and things of that nature are in perfect alignment with who you are and who you want to become, who you're becoming, then that is great. You're in good shape. This is the cleanup. This is the cleanup. Anything that is not in alignment, okay? Carmelita said 10 of my saved things are from you, Julian. I'm honored. I'm honored. So what Carmelita's saying, she wants more from me, and I'm trying to give it. I'm trying to give it. David said Julian's in my timeline. That's beautiful. Andrea says nothing to delete. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Okay. This means that you are all in alignment. That's a beautiful thing. Okay. So the next thing you want to do is now you want to go back to your profile and you want to click following. You want to click following and you want to see all the people that you're following and you want to unfollow. You want to unfollow anybody whose thought pattern is no longer in alignment with the direction that anybody whose train of thought, right? A train is going somewhere. Anybody whose train of thought is no longer going in the direction that you want to go. Remember we did the example of the 2 cars at the gas station? Anybody whose train of thought, what they're putting out on Instagram is not in alignment with the direction you're trying to go, you want to get off their train and you want to unfollow, okay? You want to get off their train and you want to unfollow, okay? And right now you're just doing 2 or 3 people, and eventually you can go do more, okay? Dejan says no low vibrational energy. Beautiful, okay? Beautiful. That's a great thing. That means that you are moving closer and closer into being in alignment with who you're becoming, okay? Most of the things that we save on Instagram are either who we are or who we aspire to be. And so this means that the content that you are feeding into your spirit and into your mind on a daily basis is moving you towards who you are becoming. And it's aiding you on that journey. And that's a beautiful thing. And this is what we want. This is what we want, okay? Instagram, Insta-God, okay? So that is your homework, okay? If you have more cleaning up to do, right? We're talking about getting pure heart, pure mind, right? I want you to go complete that task, okay? We're gonna go unfollow people, okay? We're gonna go go to favorites and unfavorite things that are no longer serving us. We're gonna go to our Explore page and click not interested on things that Instagram is feeding us that we don't wanna eat because we know it's not good for our soul, okay? And then we're gonna unfollow people that are not leading us in the direction that we want to go, okay? All right, so that's just a real-time way of bringing heaven on earth, all right? Whew. We're gonna close with our affirmation and our offering. So I wanna read the affirmation and then I want to take, actually, before we get to the affirmation, what was your greatest takeaway from today? I'm curious. What was your greatest takeaway from today? Rosemary said, yay or nay, yes or no, no in between. The Instagram house cleaning, Nikki. Assimilation of Instagram. Focus more energy and attention management instead of just time management. Learning how Instagram works, like the mind. Nothing happens without alignment and it's simple, yes or no. Insta-God, Instagram comparison. Getting in alignment. The internal dictates your external. Cleaning your soul house. Base self, best self. Beautiful, beautiful. Everything costs time. These are great. These are great. All right. So I want you to read this affirmation with me, and then we will close out with our offering. For those of you, our offering is different here, so don't hang up. This ain't for no building fund, all right? And don't jump off. I think you'll be inspired by the way we do offering here. Okay. So our affirmation for today is, I am good news. So read this with me. I am good news. As a man thinketh, so he is. Whatever I see and experience externally is a direct reflection of how I think and feel internally. The good I put out into the world returns to me instantly through inspiration, ideas, images, individuals, and institutions. If I don't like the news I'm receiving, I have the power to change the channel by raising my frequency. The law works for the same for positive and negative. It gives me more of whatever I give my attention to. Therefore, I pay attention to my thoughts so that my thoughts don't make me pay. I serve an instant God that desires my instant good. For this, I'm eternally grateful. Ashe, amen, and so it is. Okay, I'm going to read that one more time. I am good news. As a man thinketh, so is he. Whatever I see and experience externally is a direct reflection of how I think and feel internally. The good I put out into the world returns to me instantly through inspiration, ideas, images, individuals, and institutions. If I don't like the news I'm receiving, I have the power to change the channel by raising my frequency. The law works the same for positive and negative. It gives me more of whatever I give my attention to. Therefore, I pay attention to my thoughts so that my thoughts don't make me pay. I serve an instant God that desires my instant good. And for this, I'm eternally grateful. Ashe, amen, and so it is. All right. So take a screenshot of that real quick. I'll give you 10 seconds and then I'm going to go into the offering. Let me go check our account status real quick. Faith Fund, I want to show it to you. We have full transparency here at the Financial Church. And again, if this is your first time joining us, we give a little bit different here. Don't we all? We give a little bit different here. All right. So, our account balance, let me see, share. I'm going to stop sharing this. I'm going to show you our account balance as of last week. Ain't no church is doing this, y'all. Our account balance right now, based on, we gave $400 away last week. A computer loan to Shauna, and then to the Mother Fund, which is a nonprofit that helps mothers give birth in the way that they desire. So we gave away $400 last week. And our Faith Fund is now at $1,828.82, okay? So I keep it down to the penny. So you know exactly what we put in. This has been our history of giving. Literally, we started on 4/12. We started a month ago, y'all. And we've given away a total of, watch this. We've given away a total of $1,159 already, okay? So that's an absolutely beautiful thing. And even with our giving and the way we know money works, the reason money keeps flowing into the Faith Fund is because we keep using it in a powerful way. Money is useless unless it is used, right? So with that, I'm going to go back to the slide and the way to give. We at the Faith Fund, we give to people who are in need or organizations who are in need at a specific moment, at this particular moment. This is not money for me. It is not for a building fund. I've been so blessed financially. I don't do this for money whatsoever. So all of this goes back into our membership and organizations that they care about. So if you'd like to give, we believe that giving is a spiritual practice. We have a different perception of tithing here. And I do not expect you to tithe if you don't own anything, okay? We typically give up to $300 per week. The Cash App is Julian Gordon. The Venmo is Julian Gordon, and the PayPal is paypal.me/Julian Gordon. You can give in those 3 ways. And right now I want to open it up on Zoom to see if there's anybody here in the community who has a need right now. Light bill, utility, cell phone, gas, because cities are open back up and you got to go to work. You need a subway card. You need food, and you'll come on Zoom on audio, and you will not talk about your victim story or why you were in the situation. And there's no shame here. All you have to answer is, what do you need? Specifically, how much do you need down to the penny? Don't just say, oh, I need $300. No, what do you need down to the penny? My cell phone bill is $69.32. Okay, and then how you're going to be a better steward of money going forward. That's all. This is how we move here. Okay. So, is there anybody here in the community who's been here for at least 2 other times? Who has been here at least 2 other times? The reason we require that you were here at least 2 other times, one, it shows that you're a member of the community, and it shows that you're building your wealth consciousness, even if your material life does not reflect it at this moment in time. So my last 4 digits of my number for Zelle. Oh, for Zelle. Yeah, don't do Zelle. Don't do Zelle. Because that goes to my personal account. I don't want it to go to my personal account. If you could please, Sharon, if you could please try a different way, that'd be helpful. David, you saying you have a need right now? Again, there's no judgment. There's no shame here. All you do is come on audio. We don't need the sob story. We don't need what happened. That is the past. That is not who you are today. The experience you're having in life today is a representation of thoughts and seeds that you planted in the past. So we don't judge those whatsoever. All we're going to do is plant new seeds about how you're going to be a better steward going forward. Is there anybody who has need at this moment in time? Okay, so Galaxy A20, if you could please let us know your name. You have a water bill of $329.05. Okay, tell us your name. I don't know if I can, let me see if I can bring you on audio. One moment. Members, Galaxy. That's Beverly. Okay. I'm trying to bring you on, Beverly. There we go. Allow to talk. Unmute. Unmute. Beverly, you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm well. I'm well.
Good. So what was your takeaway from today? Hello?
The spoken word, and can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. My takeaway is that what we put in is what comes out, and we have to guard our communications, our words. We just have to be diligent in keeping the negatives out so that we can function at a higher frequency.
Totally with that. And how many times have you been here?
This is actually my second.
Okay, that's fine.
Or maybe third. It may be. I definitely am moving in faith. I joined the multifamily on Friday.
Okay, beautiful.
So I'm making.
I think we lost you, but can you tell us? So how do you intend to be a better steward of money going forward, Beverly?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear
me? Yeah, we can hear you. How do you intend to be a better steward of money going forward? Oops. Unmute. There we go. Beverly, go ahead. Say that again. How do you intend to be a better steward of money going forward?
I need to create more income. I need to diversify.
Okay.
And just I've got to increase my cash flow.
Understood.
That's my immediate goal.
Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do, Beverly, is we're going to 330. We're going to pay half of that, which is 150, 165. We're gonna pay 165 towards your water bill this month.
Thank you so much, Julian.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate.
This is from the community. This is from all of us.
Yes.
And so go ahead and send me, email me your Cash App or your Venmo or your PayPal. And first and foremost, we know that you stepping up and raising your hand and saying, being ready to receive, because this is a skill. Receiving is a skill. And you are being a demonstration of everyone here of the receiving skill. And we want to celebrate you for that. And so we are so grateful that you stepped up and said, I'm open to receive in a way that I may have never received before from people who I've never met before. We celebrate you for that, for being an example for all of us. So Beverly, I don't know, her phone
Thank you so much, Michelle and the rest of the family. You all.
Okay, so that's 165 to Beverly for water bill. And Beverly, email me the water bill as well, okay? Wherever you'd like to receive the money, and email me your water bill. Cool. Anybody?
Great. I'll do that.
Anybody else? Anybody else? In the event that we don't have another individual to pour into, I choose somebody from chat to find a nonprofit for us to give the remaining balance to for the week. So with that, I don't know everybody. I'm still learning. Thank you to Carmelita and Dottie for finding nonprofits the week before. Who else do I know here? I do know Courtney. So Courtney Riley, we're gonna have Courtney find a nonprofit. Courtney Riley, a nonprofit to give $200 to. So Courtney, send me the nonprofit's donation page and why you are passionate about them, and we're going to contribute $200 to them. We're going to contribute $200 to them. Okay, Courtney, you there? Actually, I'll bring her on real quick. Let me bring her on real quick, and we're going to close out, y'all. Courtney, allow to talk. Unmute.
Well,
What's going on? Hey, Courtney.
hey, Julian, how are you? I'm well.
Good,
Hey, family.
Everybody here. What's going on? What you got in mind? Who you got in mind?
So my girlfriend's mom, she does Push to Win outreach in Houston, Texas, and she goes to inner city apartments, high risk, low income, where the youth are really at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
She goes in and gives them meals. She gets aligned with different organizations. One time, I think Eric Gordon, we took him to Target and let him spend $150 for Christmas. She does after school tutorials.
Okay.
Thanksgiving, she gives them turkeys and meals so the families can, have something to eat. On the weekends, they get a pack from the food bank so they won't be hungry.
Yep.
She's just really doing good work.
We can tell automatically based on how you feel about it. So we're happy to contribute. And so we will be giving, $235.
Awesome.
Bring it up to $400 for the week. We're going to be giving $235 to them. So just send me their link to their donation page via email.
Okay.
And you have my email. So yeah, that will be coming to them on Monday.
I will definitely let them know. Thank you so much. Y'all are a blessing.
We appreciate you. All right, y'all. So that concludes this week. Last week, this is who we gave to. We gave to LaShawn for her laptop, towards a laptop, so he could start his t-shirt business. And we gave to Tanya Rapley's Mother Fund to help women give birth on their own terms. So our money is being employed. It's going to causes and people that we believe in. It is doing good, and we know it's multiplying in people's lives. So I want to thank each and every one of you for being here this Sunday. I am so grateful to be being used in this way. Please pray for me to get the next divine download to bring to you next Sunday. This space means so much to me. It is causing me to grow as I have to show up for you. and for myself, and really put language to these ideas in my head that I just know have helped me, and I can tell are blessing you. So again, please pray for me, and also on my forgiveness and my ability to forgive, so that I can heal wholly and be fully present next week. So with that, I send you all love. Beverly, my email is Julian, Jullien, at the Freedom School. I'll put it in chat really quick. freedomschool.com. That's my email, Beverly. So go ahead and email me there. And yeah, I'll see some of you on the multifamily movement call in a couple hours. And yeah, just blessings to everyone. Wishing you a great, great week. Peace.